So, Leo, quick question. You're in a business meeting. You need to present your strategy. What's the most natural way to say that in English?
Uh, I would say I have a plan for the project.
Okay, that's correct English. But let me ask you this. Do you want to sound like someone reading a textbook? Or do you want to sound like a confident native speaker who knows how to lead a conversation?
The second option, definitely.
Then you need to understand something that almost no textbook teaches you. Americans love military metaphors. We use words from the battlefield in our everyday conversations, at work, at home, with friends, and if you don't know how to use them, you're missing a huge piece of natural American English.
Wait, military metaphors like attack and defend?
Exactly. But not just those. Think about it. When was the last time you heard someone say, we need a battle plan or let's target this issue or we're deploying a new strategy?
Oh my God, all the time. I hear target at work every single day, but I never thought of it as a military word.
That's because in American culture, these words have become so normal that we don't even notice them anymore. But for learners who grew up in a different culture, these words can feel strange. Or worse, you use them in the wrong context and it sounds aggressive or confusing.
Okay, I need to hear this because I definitely use target wrong. I know it.
And you're not alone. Let's start with the most common one, target. In everyday American English, target doesn't mean a physical object you shoot at. It means your goal, your focus, your aim. So instead of saying our goal is to increase sales, you can say we're targeting a 20% increase in sales.
Okay, that I use, but what's the mistake?
The mistake is when learners use target as a noun incorrectly. For example, a Spanish speaker might say, my target is to learn English, which sounds a bit odd. A native speaker would say, my goal is to learn English, or I'm targeting fluency by June.
Oh, so target as a verb is more natural than as a noun?
Exactly. As a verb, it's very natural. We're targeting young professionals. She's targeting a promotion this year. As a noun, it's often replaced with goal unless you're literally talking about a sales target or a performance target. Chinese speakers sometimes make a different mistake. They say the target is very big, meaning the goal is ambitious. But in English, we don't say targets are big or small. We say they're aggressive or modest or realistic.
Aggressive target, I've heard that. That makes sense now.
And here's the cultural insight. Why do Americans use military language for business? Because in American culture, business is seen as a competition. You're fighting for market share. You're battling your competitors. You're deploying resources. It's a very active, aggressive mindset.
So, when I say we need a battle plan for this project, I'm not being violent. I'm being energetic.
You're being decisive. You're showing leadership. That's the key. Let me give you a real example. Imagine you're in a meeting with your team. The project is behind schedule. The client is unhappy. Everyone is stressed.
Okay, I've been in that meeting.
What would you say?
I'd probably say, we need to work harder to finish on time.
That's okay. But here's what a native leader might say. All right, team, here's the situation. We're behind, but here's our battle plan. First, we target the three biggest issues. Sarah, you're on timeline. Mike, you're on quality. I'm fighting for more resources from the client. We deploy this plan by Friday. Questions?
Whoa, that sounds so much more confident. It sounds like that person is in control.
Exactly. You're not just working harder, you have a battle plan. You're targeting specific problems. You're fighting for resources. You're deploying a solution. Every word shows action, direction, and confidence.
Okay, I'm convinced. But I need to be careful, right? I can't just throw military words into every sentence.
That's a great point. And this is where most learners make their second mistake. They overuse it, or they use it in the wrong context. For example, you wouldn't say I'm fighting for this coffee when you're ordering at Starbucks, unless you're really tired and it's a joke.
Okay, so when do I use fight for?
Fight for is for things you care deeply about, things that require effort and passion. You fight for your family. You fight for your rights. You fight for a cause. In business, you fight for a budget increase. You fight for a promotion. But you don't fight for a parking spot. That's just aggressive.
Got it. Emotional investment equals fight for.
Perfect. Now let's talk about deploy. This one surprises a lot of learners.
I always thought deploy was just for the military, like deploy troops.
Right. But in everyday English, deploy means to use something strategically, to put it into action in a planned way. So a company can deploy a new software system, a marketing team can deploy a campaign, an individual can deploy their skills.
Deploy my skills. That sounds so professional.
It does, and it's very common in resumes and interviews. I deployed a new customer service protocol that reduced complaints by 30%.
Oh, that's much stronger than saying I made a new system.
Exactly. Made is weak. Deployed shows strategic action. Now, here's a common mistake I hear from Arabic speakers and some European learners. They use deploy in very casual contexts, like I deployed my phone to call my mom.
That sounds like you're launching a missile to call your mom.
Exactly. You don't deploy a phone, you use it. Deploy is for things that require planning and strategy. A phone call is not strategic. Unless you're calling to negotiate $1 million deal, maybe then you deploy a call.
Okay, so deploy strategic use. Use everyday use. Got it.
You're getting it. Now let me ask you something. Think about the last week. Where could you have used one of these words naturally?
Yesterday, I was talking to my friend about looking for a new job. I could say I'm targeting companies in the tech industry.
Perfect. That's very natural.
And I'm fighting for a role that gives me more creative freedom.
Excellent. That shows passion. What about deploy?
I'm deploying my networking skills to find opportunities.
Look at you. You're a native speaker now.
It feels good, but I still feel like I might mess up the tone. Like, what if I say something too aggressive without meaning to?
That's a smart concern. And here's the rule. Military metaphors in American English are about action and strategy, not about violence or conflict. If your word sounds like it's attacking a person, not a problem, then it's too aggressive.
You mean example of that?
Sure, we need to attack this market, that's fine. It means aggressively pursue. But we need to attack our competitors' customers. That feels personal and aggressive. Instead, say we need to target our competitors' customer base. Same idea. Softer delivery.
So target is softer than attack.
Yes, and battle plan is about your strategy, not about hurting anyone. Fight for is about passion, not violence. Deploy is about strategic use, not military force. The culture behind these words is about being proactive, confident, and strategic, not about being aggressive or hostile.
That makes me feel better, because I don't want to sound like a general giving orders.
Unless that's the vibe you're going for, but generally no.
Okay, so let me try to put this all together. Say I'm in a team meeting, and we're behind on a project. I could say, here's my battle plan. First, I'm targeting the bottleneck in our process. Second, I'm fighting for a deadline extension. Third, I'm deploying our best people to fix the issue.
That is a beautiful sentence. Really, that sounds like a confident leader. And I want to add one thing. You said I'm fighting for a deadline extension. That's perfect. But you could also say I'm going to fight for a deadline extension to show even more determination.
Oh, going to fight for. That sounds even stronger.
It does. And here's a bonus tip. You can use target in your personal life too. I'm targeting 5 workouts this week. I'm targeting 8 hours of sleep. It's very natural.
I'm targeting a new podcast episode every week.
And we're targeting your English fluency. Speaking of which, let's do a quick practice round. I'll give you a situation, and you tell me the most natural way to respond using one of today's words.
Okay, I'm ready.
Situation 1. You're telling your boss about your plan to improve customer service.
Here's my battle plan. I'm targeting response time first. Then I'll deploy a new training system.
Beautiful. Situation 2. You're telling your friend why you want this new job so badly.
I'm really fighting for this role. It's exactly what I've been targeting for 2 years.
Perfect. Situation 3. Your team is launching a new product.
We're deploying the marketing campaign next week. Our target audience is young professionals.
Excellent. You're using target as an adjective now. Target audience, that's very natural.
This is so helpful. I feel like I've been speaking English wrong for years.
You haven't been speaking wrong, you've been speaking correctly, but now you're speaking naturally. And that's the difference between textbook English and real English.
So, for our listeners who want to start using these today, what's the one thing they should remember?
One thing, every time you're about to say plan or goal or use, stop for 1 second, ask yourself, is there a military word that would give this sentence more power? If yes, use it. If not, keep it simple. That's the balance.
So, battle plan instead of plan, target instead of focus on, fight for instead of want, deploy instead of use.
Exactly, and practice with your own life. Tomorrow morning, ask yourself, what am I targeting today? What am I fighting for? What's my battle plan? You'll be amazed how natural it becomes.
I'm already doing it in my head. Okay, my battle plan for today is to learn these 4 words. I'm targeting mastery, I'm fighting for fluency, and I'm deploying this episode in my next conversation.
That's it. That's everything. Leo, you're ready.
Thanks, Maya. And hey, everyone, if you found this helpful, hit that subscribe button. We've got new episodes every single day, and we're fighting to help you sound more natural.
We are. Until next time, keep targeting your goals.
And don't forget your battle plan.
See you next time.